wakey, rise and shine, it's good afternoon time. Live and direct from the YouTube Asylum.
Hello, I don't normally respond to trolls and comments online, and I personally don't really care about some of the things that have been said about me, but what I would like to do is clarify some facts so I'm not having to respond to all the different comments. But first of all, just to address the nonsense and attention that's been brought on me, I'm a journalist. I have been a journalist since I was 16 years old. I'm vastly experienced. I've won awards for what I do. And what do journalists do? We go to the location of a story and report on them. And I find it rather hilarious that that has become the focus of a story. The reason for me actually going out there was I had been asked to speak about it on This Morning, and I did all the inquiries that I could from being based in London. And his family saw me, and his mother actually contacted the studio and said, I trust her, I like her, can I talk to her? That is why I ended up going out to Tenerife. It wasn't me jetting off or, or whatever nonsense. I had 2 hours sleep and then was straight boots on the ground, going to the location, interviewing the people that needed to be spoken to, and finding out the facts and establishing the location. I did a walkthrough of where he had gone. I didn't do anything dangerous. I was not personally going out to try and find him. I am not going to go into bush. My reports are demonstrating this is where he went missing. This is how dense the bush is, to show, how high it is. I'm 5'2", and these cacti and shrubs are way taller than me. It's a really, really difficult terrain. But let's go to some of the facts and things that are being written about online. First of all, the Snapchat photo by Jay at 7:30 that morning. And I did question this. I'm like, what on earth is this sort of colourful fabric around him? Now, we know, and this is from his friend Brad, who had a phone call with him, and he actually showed him it was the blanket. They'd made up a bed for him in this Airbnb that he was sleeping in. Also importantly, the 2 men that he went to go and stay with, they had met them 3 days before. They'd hung out with them. They'd made friends on holiday. It wasn't 2 random people he'd met that night. They'd established a friendship, and Brad said they seemed like really cool guys. Jay was just not ready for his night to end. We have all been there, where other friends want to go to bed. Hey, let's have one more drink. That was, I believe, his intention for going up to the Airbnb. However, he did communicate to his friends via phone calls or text saying, oh, these guys have just gone to bed. Maybe I'll just come back. But trying to get back in the middle of the night would have been impossible. His mindset that morning was, you wake up, I just want to get back. That was what he wanted, to just get back to his hotel, to his friend. His tone when he was then out walking, he steps over, there's big stones, painted stones, that border the entire mountain road. It is an extremely dangerous mountain road just to even get up there. It's an hour, 45 minutes to an hour drive on very winding roads, like a James Bond film. It's really quite scary to go up there. But anyway, he is seen by his friend stepping over these white stones, and that's when he starts going downhill. And that was new information to me, because we were looking logically, intuitively, that he might have tried to cut up the way, but he was actually going down. So he might have been further up and then trying to shortcut a next bit. You would not naturally think, I know, I'm going to go off the road. I'm going to go through this really dense cacti. There are little mountain paths. And if he would only really do that to try and cut a corner. So Paul Arnott, the experienced climber, yes, he's a TikToker, but he's actually out there. He's working harder than anyone out there. So he's actually changed his focus on where he's going to look based on the information that we got from his friend Brad. So that's really, really important. The phone call with Brad, they did establish exactly where he was, because I think he did a pin check or whatever, and he's like, oh, it's a 45-minute, 50-minute drive, or a whatever it was, 10 to 14-hour walk. And he said to him, mate, you need to get a taxi. And he's like, yeah, of course I do. He has a phone call after that with someone else. So the newspaper reports are saying, oh, he slipped while he was on the phone to his friend. Was this the moment? No, he was still okay. He'd cut himself. He had cut himself on cacti. He even questioned whether cacti was poisonous, because I think this cut or whatever was bothering him. So, we do know that he was off the road. And he was also off the road then when he spoke to Lucy. And that's when he, I think, begins to realise, hold on, I'm in trouble here. The battery's about to die. He was a bit disorientated. He'd probably had very little sleep, had been drinking, etc. and not thinking so clearly. But that moment when he realises this isn't a fun adventure, this is a bit more serious, and I think that's where the tone changed with the call with Lucy, and his phone died shortly thereafter. Now, what the police are doing, they've actually asked to see my report with the interview with Brad, because that will help them. I don't know why they haven't done that, or someone hadn't done that and passed it on before. It's really important to find out exactly where we know for sure he was or could have been at that time, based on call logs, etc. I actually took Brad's phone and was screenshotting his call log with Jay. Unfortunately, the final call with him was on Snapchat, so it doesn't show on the actual thing, but he remembers it was about 8:30, 8:40 was when he spoke to him last. And I believe Lucy spoke to him afterwards. So these are the things that we actually know. Is it possible he got back on the road and tried to thumb a lift? Yes. We cannot say whether or not that happened. Did he fall and hurt himself off the road? Highly possible. If he'd gone back on the road and been walking for any period of time, there would have been a car go past. We were up there from 7 in the morning, and even though it's extremely remote, there are vehicles going up there, and it gets busier as the morning goes on. The cafe where the lookout is, and they know he definitely got up to that point, or his phone pinged near there, it would have been shut at that time. It didn't open till 10. So trying to piece together all these bits of information. His family, I've spent quite a lot of time with them. His mum, who initially thought she might want to do an interview, she is so distraught right now. It's not advisable or ethical or moral for me to do that. I would never have pushed her to do it. And I said to her, you need to do an interview if you want to, and if you don't feel up to it, then don't. And she didn't want to, and I agree with her decision. And that's why Brad spoke on behalf of someone, because I said it's important for people to understand beyond a photograph and stories from his past, which I'm not really going to delve into. Yes, he was one of a number that was charged in connection with an assault. The victim of the assault has gone online and said, please stop trolling them. Please help them find the guy. This family of, their son's missing, have some sympathy. What I can tell you, though, is that Jay was, he was a bystander, if you like. He was not wielding a weapon. The victim was actually asked his opinion on Jay and said something like, yeah, he's sound. So there was not any bad blood between them, even though he was one of a number that was charged. His family do not shy away from that, of him being present and him being convicted of something. But that is not, I believe, a true reflection of his personality and who he was. And again, I don't believe this is any relevance at all to him going missing. So I want to say to people, please have compassion. And before you write a comment that is nasty and cruel, put yourself in the shoes of his family. They are so distressed. I have experienced this with families throughout my career. When you don't know what has happened to your loved one, there is nothing worse. When you don't have answers and you're hanging on to any clue, and that's why false things being spread online are not helpful. It's diverting away from what are genuine, legitimate lines of inquiry. So my hope is, I might be returning to Tenerife, I don't know. There is no programme on this weekend, and I need to come home to sort out some personal things because I have to drop everything to go out there with no notice at all. But I hope that this search today is more focused. I have passed on everything I can that is useful via the family to the police, and I hope that my reports have helped people watching have a greater understanding of where he went missing. As I say, I was not going out there to find him and to attempt to do something dangerous and go into the bushes and the dense, dangerous undergrowth. I was going there to demonstrate and show where he was, where he went missing, and what the possibilities are of where he could be. And it really does break my heart. And I tried to be as honest and realistic with the family as I possibly could be about what they might be facing in the days and weeks and months to come. And as a human being, as a person, I pray that they find him, so that the family have answers. And it's not looking good right now. And as I mentioned in the report yesterday, as unpalatable as it is to think that he's been picked up in a car by someone with ill intentions or whatever, they would like any outcome where he's still alive. And we just don't know if that's we just don't know. We don't know what's happened to Jay. We need to find that out. So please, everyone, keep the focus on the investigation. I hope I've made some sense. I'm extremely tired. I have barely slept in days. And thank you to all those really lovely people who know who I am, who know my job, who know my integrity, for writing nice things. And I genuinely really don't care about the stupid comments, because they're written by people who have absolutely no clue about what they're talking about, and they can go and just maybe spend their time doing something more useful.
So we've entered day 14 of Jay Slater being missing. Now that was Isla. I can't really say her second name. She's the woman off this morning that went over to Tenerife. That was before the search took place. Yesterday's massive search that you'll hear at the end only brought 6 or 7 people to it, which is pretty disgusting when there's loads of family and friends over there. Like, I can understand, like, if we say, like, the mum can't go out searching, fair enough. I think the dad went out and I think the brother went out, but you flew the ex-girlfriend over. There's that Rachel, Brad, they could be all out searching, instead of in a group, all separately. At least you cover more land like that as well. So we're gonna hear now off Hayley Comet. She explains more about this watch theory, because now the police have let out that there has been an incident outside a club where a watch was taken, and that Hayley provides a little bit more insight into that. So I'm going to play that video and then I'll come back to you right after it.
Officers in Tenerife are said to be looking into a new lead that a nightclub brawl erupted earlier in the evening before Jay disappeared in a row over a stolen watch. Now, this fight was said to have taken place outside the Papagayo Beach Club, where Jay was snapped partying, so there is picture proof that he was there, and a man claimed his watch was stolen, and that has been alleged to have involved Jay and his friends somehow. Now, some people say it was a Rolex. I have received an email tonight from a source which I don't know if it's credible or not, but I'm going to show you the watch that is being said that's actually been stolen. Now, this is a message that was supposed to have been sent somehow to Jay's mum that starts with, "To Debbie, I met Jay on a flight to Tenerife with Jay, Lucy and Brad. We became close to them. We started meeting them each night at the festival, and then on Saturday night, my mate so-and-so and Jay tried to get cocaine, but Jay said he literally had no money left. On Sunday night, Monday morning, and me and my mate went to Brad's hotel at 5 to 7 in the morning to chill out, and on the way, me and so-and-so and Brad contacted Jay to let him know we were coming, he mentioned he was going to try and come back to Brad to meet us there. And when we received a FaceTime call from Jay on Brad's phone, as he left, he'd left with 2 small kitchen knives. He didn't feel safe because he'd previously mentioned to us in a Snapchat message that he'd robbed and I can't pronounce that watch name, and said he was going to sell it for 10 grand. We believed this is to pay off a drug debt. He said on Saturday night he had no money. Someone with Jay who was at the festival seemed to have a big amount of cocaine each night, and Jay didn't have any money, so he built up a debt with Hodgie, and he had been getting his drugs basically off someone bigger, and that debt needed to be paid. Basically, that's what the message says. Now, this is reportedly the watch that was stolen that Jay actually had. Some people are reporting this is the picture that Jay sent to his friends over Snapchat, which is apparently him in the back of the car. Now, some people say it does look like Jay, some say it doesn't. I did a vote on my live, most people said it did, and you've got to understand that after days of partying and you've been up all night, you are going to look slightly worse for wear. But I'll leave up to you to put in the comments whether you believe this is even Jay or not. Now, police in Tenerife apparently have said, according to the newspaper and medias, that they will be asking for CCTV from outside these nightclubs, etc., and on that strip to find out if these rumours are true, and this could be a possibility. Now, for me, people are kind of saying, well, how would this even fit into why Jay isn't here anymore? To me, the most logical thing I can think of is Jay has gone back to the B&B, possibly to exchange that watch for cash, and something has gone wrong, because I cannot work out in my head, even after watching Isla's interview, or like her little clip off Instagram today where she tries to explain what kind of went on, why Jay would have been taken all the way back to the B&B for no reason. Like, Jay's friend Brad apparently told Isla that Jay went back there and the guys gave him a blanket instantly and went straight to bed. So why would you take Jay all the way out into the mountains? Why would Jay even want to go all the way back to Masca just to sleep when he had his own place to stay? It just doesn't make sense.
Spanish police end hunt for missing teenager 19 after nearly 2 weeks. Spanish police have ended the search for missing raver Jay Slater almost 2 weeks after British teenager vanished on the island of Tenerife. On Saturday, police launched one final push and appealed for volunteers to help, and just 6 turned up to join 24 mountain rescue and fire teams at Masca. A spokesman for Tenerife police said the search is now over, but the investigation remains open. So 6 people turned up. Obviously, you've got the 24 mountain rescue and fire teams, but 6 people out of probably the good few 20, 30 people that are over there that have had their tickets paid for them, hotels paid for them, couldn't even go out and help with this last final push. But I think the friends know a lot more than what they're letting on. I think they should be ashamed of themselves, and I think the family should have laid down the law as soon as they got there, because I would have. You know, your son goes missing, and his friends are still there, and they can't actually provide you with a proper explanation of where your son's gone. I don't think I would be online trying to fight, you know, because the mother was online at one point saying, you can't say this about Lucy, you can't say that about Lucy. I really wouldn't have cared. My main priority would have been my son, but I don't know, this whole case absolutely stinks to high heaven, and I think it's kind of been planned to happen while it's on Tenerife, you know, so that they haven't got the UK police looking into it, and I think it's an absolute mess. So that was the video that I left you with yesterday, and that's a lot of channels are running with that now. That the situation is that something happened outside the club to do with the watch. He's then been set upon. He's then been stabbed in the leg, and you see him walking. Now that CCTV, I always thought that maybe that was laid over the top of it. That's why I never really took that seriously. Because there's been a lot of stuff coming out where, you know, someone says this is right, that's right, and you just don't know because there's no actual proof. So unless I actually see something that's concrete, it's, you know, it's not a viable option. So that's going to be it for this one. Now I'd like to hear what all you lot opinions are on this, or what you think has really happened to him, or will he turn up? And when I say will he turn up, you know what I mean. Will he be with us or not with us? So that's going to be it. I'll see you on the next one.